What is going on, everybody? I'm here with Mike and we are in Portland, Maine, and I'm just going to ask him a few questions about life. He's got this really cool setup here, so I stopped to say hello and see how he's doing. So Mike, it's nice to meet you.
Thanks.
So the podcast that I have is on religion, spirituality, and consciousness. So from your perspective and your life experience, what are some things that you would like share with a younger person about how to live a good life?
Moderation is a major key.
Moderation?
Yeah. Everything in moderation. Self-control, restraint. I mean, like, I don't drink alcohol, but if others do, that's their free will choice. But I always try to encourage others to have moderation. Like, social drinking is cool, and I guess, you know, that's about really the cusp of it.
Right. Yeah, makes sense.
Sure.
So do you have a favorite life experience or story?
Well, I seek to take a very humble path when it regards to life experiences. It's not like I want to boast about it or anything.
Got it.
It's a very delicate issue. I'm in a very humbled state right now. Very humbled, but it seems like each month or year that goes by, I'm being more and more humbled.
Do you see any, was there like a reason for that humble state, or maybe some lessons from that we could learn from it?
Well, yeah, but I don't really feel like sharing it on an open forum.
Fair enough.
I just really don't. I feel like I'm a lost soul in this world. And I'm not happy. Though I am happy when I fast, that is, when I really apply myself, because even fasting is very difficult. In America, it's very hard to fast. I don't know if this would help anybody, but fasting in America is extremely hard because we're undulated with the mass consciousness of eating. I mean, it's everywhere. So, like, I'm not hungry right now. This is my second day of fasting, and I'm not hungry, but I only get, you know, hit with psychological temptation. The psychological temptation to eat, but I'm not hungry. But I'm hungry to advance upwards spiritually, but I don't want to boast about anything.
Right.
I'm broken-hearted and crushed within my soul that I find it seems to be literally impossible for me to be able to connect with others who are hungry spiritually or who are spiritually evolved souls. As time goes by, I find myself being more and more solitary and being basically forced to adapt to it and to be humble and not be angry or to not be bitter, but yet there is anger and bitterness that surfaces. And there's other struggles I struggle with too. I mean, I just don't know if this is going to do any good, but I mean, I just feel it's because I have the gift of global thinking. I can think on a vast scale of interconnectedness between all possibilities. It's like I'm able to see the global picture and see the big picture in many connected ways. I mean, if it isn't the environment or Earth awareness, Earth consciousness, technology, art, music, culture, human consciousness, human culture and the evolution or evolvement of continuing evolvement of human culture. Because like I read, I do a tremendous amount of research, and I read about the dumbing down of America, and it's heartbreaking. It's like, you know, in the so-called non-intellectualism. So it's like nice to meet somebody here like this guy who is an intellectual person and a spiritual person. But I guess what disturbs me about the podcast, I don't understand the function. I only understand that there's people that they make podcasts and blogs and they're able to generate a lot of money from it. I hear about this and I'm thinking like, God, why can't I do that? What I struggle with is there are so many billions and billions of opportunities in this world, and I am very lowly and low income in the physical dimension, though I'm a millionaire spiritually, but I don't seem to know how to advance myself where I can gain a slice of this pie. I mean, there's vast wealth and opportunities that's out there. And I congratulate anyone who's able to advance in these sectors, because I'm a person who, even though I'm lowly and poor, I have a prosperity mentality. I'm for prosperity. I'm for economic drive and capitalism and for wealth and prosperity. I don't feel that the rich should be punished and their wealth should be taken away from them. Though I really do feel that the rich could have more heart and compassion for those that are far below them. Like what's happening in America, the endless destruction of public housing projects is a disgraceful shame to this nation. When Lyndon B. Johnson and Eisenhower, they created and manifested the Great Society, and endless housing projects were built all across this nation for low income to live in. And now they're slowly but surely, since the 90s, they've been steadily dismantling them and demolishing them. Instead of allowing them to exist so that others can have a place to live, the government would rather, instead of being housing and urban development, they want to be housing and urban destruction. So I just, okay, I'm carrying on too much.
No, that was really good. Well, the podcast thing, you know, I think for me it's to get positive messages out.
And that's good.
Yeah, so that's the inspiration for me, and I haven't figured out how to get a slice of the pie yet either. But I'm indoors and I have food, and I posted something the other day about, you know, my bicycle, which is over there.
It's great. I love it how you turn to look at the bike.
Yeah, so it's my form of transportation, because I feel like getting these messages out are important, you know, and how we make our way here can be challenging. You were talking about spiritual growth and spiritual prosperity, which I think is important. I'm wondering if you can maybe share, what do you think some beliefs or things that we could do on the planet, either individually or planetary, to evolve as a species, to have more peace, more prosperity, more general goodness?
There's a book that I have, and I've read, I guess, half of it. It's called The Divine Matrix. And this author, he talks about if...
Is it Greg Braden?
I think so, yeah. If 1.7% of the population can merge together as one consciousness, they can, what's it called? They can meld together and join their consciousness together as one, that it can begin to affect the rest of society. And I really think that that is surely taking place, that all across this whole world, there's surely more than 1.7% of humanity meditating and visualizing and collectively coming together for the upward advancement of not only humanity, but to help Mother Earth, to help the cosmos and our life in this world. Because for decades, it's really been going on since the 70s in the New Age movement and the Christian fundamentalist and Christian charismatic movement, and even the New Age movement. There's a little of this known. It's called the Great Earth Cleansing. And the Christians, of course, they call it, well, the Great Tribulation. And, you know, and there's you know, these two groups, you know, like they talk about Mother Earth's Great Earth Cleansing, where there's going to be massive disasters all over the world, and, you know, billions of people will be wiped out. And then the Christians, they talk about the same thing, where there'll be 80% of the population wiped out. And then there's Agenda 21, where Agenda 21, they want to It's been said that the global elitists want to reduce the global population by 80%. But I believe that there really is a collective consciousness willing and wishing that these things will not happen, and that mankind will be able to live in harmony and peace, and things will get better in this world instead of worse. Because I do know, I've read that the earth is able to extend even billions more than exist here now, but we know from a practical standpoint it's wisest to, well, to curtail the population to an extent. But spirituality, I look at religion as a man-made construct. It's like looking at the framework of a building, and the framework is kind of like a rough sketch or a rough container that can draw people into a more enlightened state. But I seek not to follow any religious path. I seek spiritual mysticism. But I admire anyone who's Buddhist or Hindu, New Age, pagan, Wiccan. They could even be atheist or heathen, you know, it doesn't matter, New Age. You know, we're all together, you know, and we need each other.
It's a beautiful message.
Oh, thanks.
Is there anything else that you'd like to share?
Well, meditation is very important. In 2008, I used to meditate for 45 to 50 minutes a day, and now I might meditate maybe 10 or 15 minutes if I'm lucky. So I've gotten off track, and I need to get back on track.
Awesome.
But I do know the wonders of fasting. I've run across a few that have fasted more than me, and I commend them. I think that's wonderful. Like, there's a local person here, he has a business on Congress. It's actually a gym. It's called the Greater Self or something, I can't remember it. But he says he's fasted like 2 weeks, water only. And I think he said he's done it for 3 weeks, water only. And this guy is fit as ever. I mean, he's real muscular and fit, and I don't know how he does it. The longest I've fasted water only is 8 days. I've done it twice. And then I've done a 25-day juice fast and a 15-day juice fast. And I've done endless, probably literally hundreds of fasts throughout my whole life, where it would be for a day or 2 or 3 days, even 4 or 5 days. And there's something that takes place after the second or third day. I begin to really break free, and the psychological struggle to want to eat, it subsides. But then there's a new barrier that pops up like around the 4th or 5th day. It rehashes again, you know, where I'm really tempted to eat a lot. And if I can just get over those 2 peaks, second and third day, and then the 4th and 5th day, it could be intermittent. It could be one or the other. But fasting is really wonderful. And I know there's a lot of healing to it. And it's been said that there's a lot of power to it. But it's a hidden power. It's the power of the inward kingdom of the soul. And I'm only sharing this that if it may help any others, because these are things I normally don't like to really discuss in open. But because this guy's so cool and he's so loving and caring, I welcome his efforts.
Thank you. Well, I appreciate your time, and it's been a pleasure to talk to you, so thanks so much for sharing. And anything else? I'll say bye. All right. See you guys later. Peace.